Hello and welcome to PNN, I'm Michael Gale. Our top story tonight, 17-year-old Marty McFly time-traveled to 1955 and interacted with dozens, if not hundreds, of Hill Valley residents. And yet no one seems to recognize him. For more, let's go to senior correspondent Jennifer Wells. Jennifer.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, this is a seriously weird story. Let's start with Marty's parents. To begin with, in the past, Marty's future mother, Lorraine, developed a massive crush on him.
Ew.
I know. But Michael, do you remember your first crush?
Of course I do.
Yes, so do I. And yet Lorraine is somehow blissfully unaware that the young man in 1955 and her son in 1985 are the same person.
Weird.
Yes, and weirder still, Marty spent almost an entire week in 1955 with George, the man who would be his father, building up George's confidence, turning him into an assertive go-getter instead of the mild-mannered doormat he was. And yet George has made no connection between the young man who fundamentally changed his life and the young man living under his roof?
Very strange indeed. Okay, let's go to senior correspondent Eric Wilson for more. Eric.
Thanks, Michael. So while McFly was in 1955, he ran afoul of George's tormentor, Biff Tannen, bringing a certain amount of torment upon himself. But despite a highly public chase that ended in Biff's car being covered with manure and several other violent encounters, present-day Biff has made no connection between 1955 Marty and 1985 Marty.
I don't get it. How could everyone be overlooking this?
Beats me.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Let's go now to senior correspondent Wendy McClure. Wendy.
Michael, if you think it's strange that Marty's parents and his main antagonist don't recognize him, let's talk about the Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
What is that?
It's where Marty's parents kissed for the very first time and basically set their lives together in motion.
Okay.
But Marty, who couldn't resist putting on a show when a guitar was in his hands, basically invented rock and roll in front of a crowd of hundreds of teenagers, teachers, chaperones, custodians, and nobody who witnessed the first ever performance of Johnny B. Good remembers the kid who performed it? I mean, is there something in the water in Hill Valley that prevents people from putting two and two together?
It certainly seems like there must be. Okay, lastly, let's go to senior correspondent Leah Lloyd for a few miscellaneous unanswered questions. Leah.
Thank you, Michael. Well, I'm gonna go straight for the jugular here. Why has George hired a man who sexually assaulted his wife to wax his car?
Wow, did it just get uncomfortable.
And why did the successful and well-off McFlys of the new timeline still live in the crappy neighborhood they did before?
Another good question. Thankfully less stressful than the last one.
And the most unanswered question of all, in the new timeline, is Uncle Joey still in jail?
Oh yeah, Uncle Joey. Forgot all about him. I'm gonna say yes. Joey is still Joey, no matter what Marty did.
Nice to have at least one of these questions answered, isn't it?
It sure is. Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You've been watching PNN, the Parody News Network.